we are going to be doing whatever look I had on in the intro. My skin is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and use what is left of this Pharmacy Honey Drop Moisturizer. I am the real Slim Shady right now. The real Slim Shady with way too much moisturizer on. Going on, and then I'm just going to put the rest on my ashy hands. So I feel like a lot of brands have been reaching out to Black creators, especially with everything that has been going on, especially with the revelation about who does and doesn't work for these brands that, you know, take advantage of these opportunities, because as we all are aware, we don't get them all the time or at all in some cases, and really make it a point to get out there. I know some people have the attitude of, you know, okay, well, y'all wasn't reaching out to us before, you know, which is fine and it's reasonable, but you also don't want to burn bridges that are being built now, okay? Or miss opportunities. In light of what I just said, I actually got reached out to by a brand called Odin's Eye shortly after everyone was doing the whole here's my favorite Black content creators situation. And they're called Odin's Eye. They sent me these two palettes. One is an eyeshadow palette and one is a highlighting palette. Let's open it up and see. This is the highlighting palette. By the way, I have not opened these. That's what the texture sounds like. Thingy on top. So it comes with a mirror. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. They're not gonna complement my complexion too well. And the reason being is because they are so fair. Now this brand is based overseas in an area where the majority are fair complected people. If you plan on expanding your demographic, I do recommend creating a more bronze highlighting palette, or once you sell out of these, just throwing some shades in there that are deeper. 2 shades would be great, because I do know that overseas there are quite a few pale ladies who do like to tan and appear as though they are brown and bronze, and I'm sure they would appreciate that from your brand. But I am going to give it a try. The one I'm going to use is this one. We'll see. This is the eyeshadow palette, which this is not bad at all. This is not bad at all. You've got some transition shades, some cool tones. They are pretty fair. As long as these colors show up, it's fair game. It's good. Personally, I'm probably going to go towards the brown, the peach, this shade, maybe even this shade. We'll see what we come up with. It's going to be cute. I am definitely happy about the way that the palette looks though, because there are colors that I can use. I started doing this thing where I put my base on before my eyeshadow and stuff, because I like the way that it looks, and I'm sort of getting out of doing my brows, at least right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do my base, and then I'll be right back. The first color that I'm going to use is going to be the darkest transition shade, and I'm just going to tap this on. All of my favorite blending brushes are dirty, so I'm working with something different. This is a Sephora Pro Smoky Crease Brush. I think I bought this years ago. I'm going to bring this all the way out. The key to using brushes like this that are usually more dense is changing the amount of pressure you're putting on your eye. Lighten it up a little bit, and then also the angle at which you're holding the brush. Instead of holding it like this, try holding it flat against your eye and then blending in the direction that you want your eyeshadow to go. The next one that I'm going to reach into, I can't decide which one. I kind of want to use the peachy shade, and I'm hoping that it doesn't turn out to be pink on me or too cool toned. And I'm just gonna lay this down right here. I am getting quite a bit of kickback from this palette. I haven't caused any, it hasn't hit pan or anything, but I am getting quite a bit of kickback if you care about that. The colors are showing up pretty well too, which I'm not surprised about, but I do like to mention in case anyone else is curious. I am going to build this color up quite a bit though, because I really like the way that it looks. I like the tone, and I want to be able to see it when I take a photo. So I'm going to take a gel eyeliner. So I'm going to take this brush. This is a MAC 239 brush, and I'm just going to smudge this out. And I'm using this one because the other one has quite a bit of product on it, and I don't need all of that product all over my eye. So I'm going to blend this out. Also, having a soft, clean brush really does make transitioning cream products into eyeshadow or matte products a little bit easier. And you want to be mindful of your strokes as well. You don't want to just be going back and forth. A lot of the time people blend in windshield wiper motions when they first start doing eyeshadow, but you can blend at an angle, you can blend up and down. It really just depends on what direction you want these colors to lay. And I'm blending it out with the original Sephora brush that I was using. I did not pick up additional products. But yeah, your eye shape has a lot to do with how colors lay too. This is the second brush for the peach transition shade. So there are like frost shades, which are more gritty, more metallic, and then there's shimmer shades, and the shimmers are way creamier. Always tap off your brush if you're going to put your base on before your eyeshadow. That way you don't wind up with unnecessary amounts of fallout. That's pretty. It's pretty. It's really, really subtle. I honestly was expecting a lot more shimmer, like a lot more on the metallic side, a smoother metallic, but this almost reminds me of a semi-dry pressed glitter is what it reminds me of. That's what it reminds me of. It's not bad, but it's not giving me the wow factor that I wanted. So I'm going to try it with my finger this time. It didn't make too much of a difference to use my finger. Well, it looks gorgeous on camera. In person, it's a little, I feel like it needs something, you know? Like when you cooking food and you know that the food tastes good, but it don't taste great, you know, and you're like, it just needs something else. It's really pretty on camera. I'm going to use my MAC 221S brush, and I'm going to dip right into this shimmer shade. And I'm just going to blow this out a bit because I want it to be soft. I don't really want it to have a obvious stopping point. Now, one thing I can appreciate about this formula is as I'm blending it out, what's on my eyelid is not disappearing. And I find that that happens quite a bit with other eyeshadows. So kudos to Odin Zai on this formulation. It's interesting. Like, normally when I use other metallic or glitter pressed eyeshadows, when I start blending around the edges like this, I have to go back in and repack the eyeshadow on because obviously blending, sweeping motions will pick up the product and move it around. And when it comes in contact with what's on the lid, it will come off, but not here. That's not happening. Okay, so I think I figured out how I'm going to film from now on. I'm just going to do one eye and then do it and show y'all. I'm going to take the gel eyeliner that I used earlier, and I'm just going to line my waterline. Well, not line my waterline, line my lash line down under here. And I'm not saying you got to be super careful with this, but you definitely only want to put it exactly where you want it, just because depending on the formula of your eyeliner, it might be super pigmented, and even if it's not, black is very hard to clean up. Then I'm going to take my MAC brush from earlier, and I'm just going to soften the edges of this, smoke it out. And I'm not bringing it too far down because, again, I put it exactly where I want it. And looking up will make sure that you get the product in the folds of your eye if you have any fine lines or creases. Taking an Urban Decay pencil brush. This is really, really old. I don't know if they even make this anymore. But just take your local pencil brush and pack that eyeshadow right on top. This is the metallic shade from the palette, the one that I used on my lid. Just pack it right on top. So back with this brush, and I'm going to hold it this way because that eyeliner's right there and I do not want that all over my eye. I'm going to pack the peach shade right underneath here. And then I'm just going to blend them together. Y'all, I almost played myself. Y'all see that? Ooh, this is why if you set your brushes down, do not set all your brushes next to each other, okay? Because your brushes do not care about your makeup. Your brushes are not concerned about mistakes, okay? They will laugh in the face of your makeup flaws. Moving on to my waterline, that is obviously white. So I'm going to take this. This is really, really old. If you want to substitute for this, MAC has a eye cold. This is called Fascinating. It's also white. There are other brands that also make white eyeliners. You just want one that's creamy and it's going to stay when you set it with the eyeshadow, especially if your eyes are sensitive. So I'm going to take the lavender lilac shade from the palette and I am going to pop it right here, right on top of that. And I'm also going to take a little bit and tap it underneath. This is just going to emphasize that color a little bit, especially if you so happen to use an eyeliner that will actually fade throughout the day. Now, truthfully, I do want to add something into my inner corners just to give me a little oomph. I'm going to use this shade right here. It's also another metallic shade. And just pop it right there. Ooh, okay, so I'm back. I know I look a little frightening. It's okay. I want to go ahead and give this highlighting palette a go. Just so you know, we all have proof about whether or not this is going to work for brown skin. The one that I'm going to use though is called Soul, and it is a super bright pink. Honestly, I'm scared to put this on my face. Honestly. Because I know it's going to be light. So I'm going to tap into this and use the smallest amount. If you ever have to wear a highlighter or want to wear a highlighter that is a little too, yeah, and this is metallic too. If you ever want to wear a highlighter that is a little too light for your liking, just ease your way into it. I feel like a lot of the time, you know, brown and black women are hesitant about lighter highlighters. It's not that we can't wear them, y'all. It's just they're very loud on us. I'm back. I have my eyelashes. These are the, where's the name? These are the Love Me lashes from XO Beauty. And I have some eyeliner. So this eyeliner is from M Cosmetics. And what I'm going to do is tight line from the top of my lash line. I am moving the hairs out of the way with the bristles and getting super close. Super close. I said I was going to make a blog post about how I put on my lashes. I mean, I know you guys have seen me do it a few times. My lips are dry, sis. Ooh, ooh, should be against the law, okay? So, for my lip liner today, I'm going to use a dark contour shade. And you can use anything. For this lip, I actually want to wear this lip topper that was sent to me from XO Beauty. It's called Over the Top. I'm going to take a complimentary liquid lipstick, one that's kind of grayish, pinkish. But I just wanted to see what this looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on this lip topper, and taking the very same brush. Oh, that's cute. If you ever want to wear glitter on your lips but you don't want to use loose glitter, a lip topper is a really good substitute because it'll set on top of your lipstick. It'll look really, really pretty, and in most cases you can top it with gloss if you want to. I don't like to because that's a lot of product going on my lips, but you can if you'd like to, okay? Don't really know if I'm feeling the lip with the look, only because I've gotten so tan. It just looks super light. I don't know. I mean, would I rock it if I had to? Yes, it kind of matches my shirt. Anyway, this is the final look. What are my thoughts on the Oden's Eye palettes? Like I said earlier, black women can wear whatever highlighting shade they want, but I do think it would be great if they came out with a bronze palette, or if they relaunched this palette and just put 2 darker shades on the other side, since it is a highlighting palette. And then in terms of the eyeshadow palette, I am impressed because, like I said, most indie brands nowadays don't do a terrible job of creating eyeshadows and things like that. But it's safe to say that most of the time when we're trying indie brands, we don't really expect too much because they're brand new companies. I like the color payoff. I like the colors in the eyeshadow palette. I think that they'd work really well on just about anyone. And my only thing about this was the metallic shades, or yeah, the metallic shades, the ones that are a little bit more dry. I was expecting them to pop a lot more than they did, but it does look phenomenal on camera, so what can I say? Ultimately though, if you are interested in these palettes, please check out Oden's Eye on Instagram, or just go directly to their website. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out my website, my blog, where all my social media are linked together, and you can find new blog posts, videos, and in-depth tutorials there. Yeah. This is definitely another tutorial.